up in the corner. So, last day, we started looking at how to add and subtract using pictures. Works really, really good. All right, because you can see the numbers, you can see the things canceling out. Unfortunately, it just takes a long time to draw out these diagrams, especially if the numbers were really big. If I changed to 15 or 20, oh, that's just a lot of work. All right, so we need other strategies. This is good to figure out what is actually happening for whatever reasons. But the other strategy is we're going to use number lines and just mentally. So the number line is just an intermediate. Eventually, hopefully, we can just imagine the number line in our head. So if we want to do this without diagrams, well, first thing we need to do, so we're going to the second page of day 3 on the back side, is we're going to clean up the math expression here. When I say clean up, is we want to get rid of extra pluses and minus signs. Right? There's lots of pluses and minus signs, or positives and negatives here. To clean it up is we're going to use our multiplication rules from the other day. So our rules said, hey, if we have two pluses next to each other being multiplied, those can combine to make a plus. If we had two minuses next to each other, those can combine to make a plus. Right? But if the two signs were different, you had a plus and a minus, or a minus and a plus, those would combine to make a minus sign or a negative sign. Right? Those are the rules we're going to use to clean up our equations. Right? So looking at this, if you ever have two signs right next to each other, for example, right here, with no number in between, we can combine them to make a single sign. So we have a minus and we have a plus. We use our multiplication rules. A minus and a plus can be replaced with what symbol? Chase? We're not going to do this. Right? Does that combine to make a plus sign, or does that combine to make a minus sign? What does our multiplication rule say? Right? Abba? Minus, right? A plus and a minus makes a minus. So we're going to replace the blue stuff with just a single minus. And we're going to drop down the 3, and we have a 5 plus here. Now, that is a positive 5. So since it's a positive 5, we don't need to show the beginning plus sign either. Right? So look at that. That's so much nicer to look at. And you've been doing that since elementary school. Right? So what's 5 minus 3? 2. Now, to use a number line, because sometimes we can't do it easily in our head, is the first number is where we start on the number line. So we start at the number 5. If you have a minus sign, that means you go towards the negatives. Minus, go to the left. That's where the negatives are. Oops, that jumped. Negative. Right? If it was a plus sign, you'd go to the right, towards the positives. Positives. Right? So, we start at 5, and it says, hey, move towards the negatives by 3 spots. 1, 2, 3, and you land at 2. And that's it. Right? So now, this is how we're going to do it. But eventually, I'm hoping this process right here, you can just imagine the number line in your head. I'm at 5, I'm going to go back 3, I'm sitting at 2. Right? So let's do a couple of these to get used to this. All right, let's go. Which ones? Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll need to do all these. We'll see. All right. Right, so step 1, combine the two signs in the middle. Right, we have a minus and a plus. What do those combine to make? Right, this should be quick and speedy. Oh. Jaden, do you know? Minus, right? So that's a minus sign. Now we drop down the numbers. We have a 3 here, and we have a positive 7. So we don't need to show the plus sign because it's a positive 7. Yes, Jasper.
Can I tell that?
Sure, what is the answer? 4. And I'm glad that you just look at it, you can tell it. But if you need to use the number line, remember you start out the first number, 7, it's a minus sign. So you go to the left 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. You're sitting at 4. There's your answer. Right? So on the assignment today, the first page will have a whole bunch of number lines if you need to use it. Right? On the back page, there will just be one giant number line at the bottom. If you need to use the number line, you can use the one giant one on the bottom, or just do the calculations mentally in your head. But I do want to see this. I want you to see cleaning these things up. All right, we clean up to the 2 middle signs. What does that make? Negative. We drop down the 5. We drop down the 3. Do I write down a 3 or do I write down a minus sign in front of it? Minus sign. That's a negative sign, right? It's only a plus that can go disappearing. So now, what's the answer to this one? Correct?
2.
It isn't 2. Let's draw it out. We start off at the first number, negative 3. Now, which way are we going, left or right? Left. We're going towards the negatives, this way. How many spots? 5 spots. So we move 5 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we end up at negative 8. Okay? All right. Next one. We combine the 2 middle signs together. Do we write down a plus or do we write down a minus sign? Plus. Right? We drop down the numbers. A 2. And that's a positive 2. So we can just write down 2. And we probably don't need to do the number line. Carl, you got this one?
5. No, I'm kidding.
What is it, Carl?
4.
4. 2 plus 2 is 4. Or, if you want to... Yeah, we start off at the number 2. We go to the right 2 spots. 1, 2. Because we will plus it. We got at 4. All right. I think we've got these. All right. Next one. Combine the 2 middle signs. Courtney. Oh, no. You're going too far ahead of me. Plus or a minus sign? Negative. All right. We drop down the numbers. With the 3, do we need to include the minus sign there? Yes. And what is the answer, Courtney? Negative 5. If you want to use the number line, so if number lines are going to be optional. If you can do this without the number line, that's fantastic. If you do need it, that's fine. We start off at negative 3. We go to the left 2 spots, minus 2. We end up with negative 5. Right? Work at the level you are at. Okay. Combine the 2 middle symbols. A plus or a minus? Carl.
The answer.
No, plus or a minus. One step at a time.
Plus.
Thank you, Carl. We drop down the numbers. And Carl, now what is the answer?
16.
16. You guys agree?
No, minus 16.
No. Marcus? 3? Yes. Start off with the first number. My first number is negative 6. This is where I want to start off. A plus 9 means move to the right 9 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3. Okay? So, when you do the assignment, I want to see this. I want to see this cleaning up. Now, you can not necessarily draw the arrows. You can just do that with your fingers. This is where I'm starting. I'm going left 2 spots. This is where I'm starting. I move to the right this many spots. If you need to use the number line. If not, just do it in your head. Right? I will share all of the answers with you just like I did the last time. That's it. So the rest of the class, we are working on